HarvardSportsPerformance.com, working with the highly motivated, driven athletes to have more focus, confidence, and the ability to effectively deal with distractions during competitions in order to have consistent peak performance. This week is a pretty serious topic. It's signs to prevent athlete suicide. If you've been following the papers over the past month, there's been 3 athlete suicides right now, the most recent being Rick Ripon from the NHL, and he was only 27 years old. My feeling is that now's the time to take a stand and not let this happen anymore. When athletes commit suicide, it's a tragedy for the entire community. Let's face it, when anybody commits suicide, it's a tragedy for the entire community. So we need to be able to look at the myths that occur and be able to bust them and turn them around so that people are better educated, including athlete support system, their coaches, their fellow team members, anybody that's in touch with an athlete, in order to recognize the signs, be able to know exactly what to do, and then be able to take action in an appropriate manner. And let me go through some of the myths that are going on. The first one is that anytime an athlete has any emotional health issues, whether it's depression, panic attacks, violence, it's seen as a weakness, because athletes are given hero status. They are supposed to be above it all, and anything that shows weakness is something to be avoided or to punish, or that you're supposed to tough it out. Well, when you have an emotional health issue, whether it's from blunt traumas to the head or concussions because of your sport, it might be problems going on in your personal life, or possibly organic and hereditary. Regardless of what it is, it's not a weakness. Because if an athlete were to break an arm, break a leg, have any type of physical injury, they would immediately be treated. The same thing applies true for emotional health issues. That's part of what needs to be turned around. The next part is stigma. A lot of times athletes are reluctant to approach their coaches or their managers because they're afraid that they are going to be stigmatized, be seen as less than. And the truth of it is, it's their sport that's probably keeping them functioning as well as they are, as they're dealing with these unaddressed emotional health issues. Therefore, let's take the stigma away and really know how to deal with it, because the stigma is, once again, coming from a place of ignorance. It's that when athletes have depression, panic attacks, violence, their coaches or support people are feeling uncomfortable. They don't know what to do because it's out of their comfort zone. Therefore, let's turn it around and just see this as another way to find the right resources to be able to get that athlete the support that they really deserve. The third thing is built-in risk. There are built-in risks for athletes in their sport that aren't really across the board with all the other types of things that people do. So athletes suffer concussions, and juggling your brain inside your head can lead to problems down the road. Athletes are consistently under high pressure to perform. Some people do better than that, others don't do well with that constant pressure. And then there's things that are going on outside of their environment which they bring into their competition, which causes them to maybe go into rage, perform from a place of anger, and all those things are preventable, and they're also treatable. So therefore, there are built-in risks that might precipitate problems at a faster pace than other endeavors or things that people do because of the extra added pressure to always be on and performing at a peak level. And one of the things that I feel is a lot of times coaches come from one size fits all. So if this worked for one athlete and he got results, well, let's use it for the next person. However, we are all individualized. Therefore, let's take a new motto of friends don't let friends die, because unaddressed panic attacks, symptoms from brain trauma such as concussions or depression do lead to suicide down the road when those players lose hope or they get benched and that's all that they had that was keeping them going. So let's deal with it from an individualized basis. A lot of teams and athletes now have sports psychologists and other resources available to them. Let's establish the protocols to really use those resources and have the system to identify when someone is possibly dealing with depression, panic attacks, or rage. If you're interested in the 7 mistakes most athletes make, go to my website, expertsportsperformance.com, put your name and email address in the upper right-hand corner. You'll receive my free starter kit immediately. I look forward to hearing from you. Any comments you think about today's video. I know I'm just touching the surface. There's a lot more going on about this that I can expand. I look forward to being a resource for you. Lauren Fogelman, expertsportsperformance.com. More focus, more wins.